Welcome to another edition of Why Come Japan. I'm your host, Mr. Radbury, where I interview creatives about their craft and how it relates to Japan. And today on my show is the man, the actor, Daniel Reton, probably best known for his viral McDonald's video. How are you doing today, Daniel?
I'm doing great. Yeah, my McDonald's thing really went around. Oh, this is Natali, the Australian.
Hello, wow.
Also known as your wife, right?
Yes, it is. This is
Okay.
my stud. If anybody's wondering his name's Stud, I'll leave it to your imagination.
Oh, and we go with the beautiful body. Yeah, so what's happening? Yes, McDonald's. Yeah, I like this.
All right, so if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, whoa, that is a strong wind. Sorry, I don't have all the windows open because it's hot as hell today here in Tokyo.
This is nothing, buddy. Wait till July and August.
Yeah, no. I mean, for May, it's really, really hot.
This is the Suzushi weather.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, this is nice.
I mean, I've been here for 10 years, and I think this is hot for May, personally.
Oh,
but
yeah, it can get really hot over here. Oh, my goodness, it's getting hot. It's getting hot. Oh, what are we going to do?
This is too hot for Twitch. What are you doing?
It's hot around here.
Yeah. All right, so as a setup.
I love your decorations. You got all kinds of interesting characters in your shot there, Radley.
Yeah. No, this is my man cave. I guess it took a little while to set up.
This is the Radley Temple.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. You live in Japan long enough, and you don't want to be boring, and so you want to make yourself a little bit more interesting. So you give yourself an interesting backdrop like this.
And the shirt too, dude. That shirt is mackin'. You got that shirt going on, huh?
Yeah, well, thank Instagram. I don't know for making my life not so boring. Anyway, without further ado, for anybody who doesn't know Daniel, shame on you, you bad children. You should know that he was a part of a viral video where he was in front of McDonald's. This video, it's by. Do you know this? You don't know this guy. Let me look up his name and let me be able to show people what I'm talking about.
The guy who put it to music. Yeah.
No, the guy who put it on Twitter. Here, let me go to it.
Here, one guy put it on Twitter. Another guy put it to music.
No, I have not seen the one put to music. All right, so let me play this, so people can see what it is we're talking about.
Oh, McDonald's takeout dake. Warui. I like to swat it. Kohi, Wi-Fi. So, America人です。だからマクドナルド大好き.
Yeah, so that was your viral moment, quote unquote. How do you feel about this moment? Like, how does it make you feel? Feeling like out of everything in your whole body of work, because I know you're like on, what is it? You're on IMDb for like being in some movies, like, what is it? Like 25th Hour and a couple of other big Hollywood movies?
Yeah, I'm an actor from New York City. So I had a couple of TV series that I starred in for a while. And even here in Japan, I mean, I've done, I do 5 jobs a month as an actor. And all those things, nothing has been as big as the 7 seconds in front of McDonald's on the street for that interview. Hilarious. It's just, it's blown up. I've got Japanese people imitating it. I've got, of course it went on Twitter and I got more attention from them 7 seconds than 3 weeks that I spent working on a film.
So it sounds like you're pretty happy with this video. Like, it's not like... Because I could see other people being like, why is it that video? Why can't it be like my work in Hollywood? Or why couldn't it be this,
I got to tell you, Radley, I think it's just whether you entertain people. That's the whole business. Our business is to entertain people and give them a sense of escape or happiness or scare them or drama, whatever they want to watch that week. And those, it's amazing that silly little piece I did in front of McDonald's, which wasn't a job even. I mean, I was really trying to get into McDonald's so I could sit down and have my coffee and Wi-Fi and hang out. And they're like, no, takeout only. And so I started complaining a little bit, or I just started, being a little exasperated. And they stuck this camera in my face and a microphone, and so that was it. And it went coast to coast or whatever it did.
Huh. So fish-shaped waffle in the chat is asking me that he needs more context behind what it is we're talking about. All right, so more context. This was a viral tweet, or I don't know. I guess it's semi-viral. It has 4K likes, 1.3K retweets, and your character just like it's unforgettable. Because it was one of these things where it was just one of these random occurrences where McDonald's was closing because of the coronavirus, and basically there was this TV staff, and you were kind of upset that the was it McDonald's was closing, or they were only doing takeout, as you say in the video.
Right. I couldn't sit down and do my Wi-Fi and my coffee, my bad Japanese came out as. Warui, I want a swate, I want to have my kohi, Wi-Fi, America Jin des. I'm American, I like McDonald's. So the whole thing, I'm really quite surprised they put it on television. But I've had many, many Japanese people contact me. I saw you on TV.
Huh.
Why did they put that on television? Some crazed gaijin who couldn't even speak the language, but it ran. It ran.
So wait a minute. You said that there's been like remixes and other videos of this that you've seen?
Oh yeah, no, you've only seen the tip of the iceberg. It got those 200,000 Twitter views, and you mentioned the likes and the retweets. No, it's gone bigger than that. It's gone all over Reddit and such. Somebody put it to music. They gave it a Jamaican beat. I like to swate, They gave it a Jamaican, and they put in some Jamaican Rasta guys into it, and so that made the rounds. And then Japanese people started imitating it. So now there's videos out there of like Japanese women in the park going, McDonald, I like to swate, kohi, Wi-Fi. So those silly little 7 seconds has turned into, it's just blown up.
Huh. I mean, has anybody contacted you like on the street and like saying, hey, you're that swate guy?
I noticed working here in Japan as an actor, I'm not saying we all look the same to them or anything, but they don't seem to see me on TV and then see me in person and recognize me. When they know me and they see me on TV, then they're calling me, dude, you're on TV, you're on TV. Then I get all the, but yeah, so I've definitely heard from plenty of people, or people that just got the people that said on Twitter.
Huh. Simon's living room says he predicts that this will come to haunt you, or you don't think it'll haunt you at all?
No, it won't haunt me, except that, I don't know, is it going to keep me from doing a Mossburger commercial or something? No, I'm not worried about it haunting me at all.
Huh.
It does get me, though, because most of the times that we do on television here, we're always like about, nutrition and how wonderful Japanese food is. And what happens? I get busted as a typical American going right into my McDonald's. So in that sense, they got me. They busted me. Yeah. Because I'm always like, oh, no, Japan. And I tell people back home, we're so healthy here in Japan. Not like that fast food stuff. And no, they busted me. As far as I am from home, you're still going to find me hanging at McDonald's.
So let me ask you something. So I was listening to, the reason why this podcast came to be was because I'm really good friends with Inside Japan podcast, James, what's his last name? I forgot his last name. James something, Verhoeven or ALT Inside. I forgot his last name or something. It's Scandinavian. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What does matter is he was saying that like you pretty much brought because you came here originally in Japan when you were like around 20. Is that so? Is that right?
Yeah, my first time here. That's right. I was here first 20 years ago. And so I'm back now. I was here for 3 years ago, 20 years ago as an actor, and I just came back 2 years ago. So this is my second time through.
Well, then that means like if you came to Japan when you did acting jobs, because I've done acting jobs too. I've done a couple of commercials, but I can't do them anymore because of the schedule. It's a nightmare to deal with. What's this?
This is the music version.
Where?
This is
Wait a minute. Where is this? Where did you find this?
it's all over the internet. I had people sending it to me.
No, I mean like it's on Nico Nico Doga, or is it like on YouTube or what?
Dude, I don't even know. It's on some video on Facebook or Reddit or Twitter, or, somewhere out there.
Huh.
And, yeah.
Huh. Is there anything you'd like to be known for besides this being the SWAT Day McDonald's guy? Anything in particular?
I'm going to tell you, Randy, it's really embarrassing. You don't know how I've dissed McDonald's. I even did a whole show.
Wait, you being serious?
We had a public. In New York, we had a show on public access called Streets of New York that was also all over the internet. That was my show. Well, Natali and I. And we used to diss McDonald's. It was always like McDonald's is poison. I mean, we used to make jokes about McDonald's every week. We take pictures of we look at the menus and the commercials, and we'd show people what they were really getting. We used to do the nutrition count. Oh my goodness. And now I've got this coming back that I'm actually a regular McDonald's guy. Yeah, it's not good. Busted. Yeah.
Huh. So it's kind of like what's that word called? Divine punishment? I don't know.
I've been caught cheating. I've been caught. Yeah. Oh, here, Natali, come back here a second, sweetie. Come back here a second. Yeah.
This is.
What's one thing? Yeah. What's one thing we've never done? I've never been to a love hotel. So we actually went to a love hotel recently. Tell me about the love hotel, sweetie. Oh, we've never been to a love hotel. All my years in Japan. So we had a date. We went to a love hotel. And what was it? The rooms and everything? You thought it was cool? We chose the room?
Yeah, when you actually go in there, you get to choose the room. So you can select from a little menu what you would like. It was so much fun. I have this list of things that I've never done. And I've been having my hubby come with me doing these absolute firsts. And that was one of the firsts that I wanted.
Me too.
It was fun.
We did the 3-hour room. We got one of those 3-hour. Radley, you probably, swinger like you, man. You probably hit these love hotels all the time, right?
Actually, no. My first love hotel experience was with the girl I'm with now. So because I mean, I never actually,
Japanese?
No, she's from
Japanese?
China. So she's my girlfriend. We've been dating for like 7 years. I mean, I should eventually get married or something at this point, but no,
Don't rush.
Don't rush. Huh? Wait. How long have you known Natali then? I guess I have to ask this before you tied the knot.
Oh.
We'll narrow it down to I'm from Australia, he's from New York, we met in London.
I had a TV series. That went around the world, so I had to go to London to do talk show circuits, and we met there. So we've been together for 15 years. 15 years and longer? 18 years.
18 years.
I'll just give him the look. We met in 2001.
Oh, well,
okay.
18 years. Yeah, but we've been married for something like that. Yeah, we've been. But anyways, not to get off target here.
No.
If you've been with your partner, get yourself a love hotel for like
the
anniversary, the birthday or something. And it's so clean, it's so pretty. And also, we did it in Dogenzaka and Shibuya, so you feel so naughty, because everybody knows what you're going to do, what you're coming out for. Oh, we did a video on our website, Japan Travel Today.
I want to ask you something about that. Before I ask you about that, I want to ask you something. So you said you came to Japan with your wife and your kids, and you kind of just like, you burnt every bridge when you just came here. What is it that made you make that decision? It was just your great experience of living in Japan when you were in your 20s?
Yes. When I got here, I guess what? Okay, so here, let's stand up. This always shows on TV. Just this beautiful body. It's the MILF body. This is my second time, and I did the same thing last time I came here. And the thing is, Japan is so wonderful and so amazing. I tell so many people back in America, come to Japan. Come out here for 2 years. And it's always the same with them. Oh, my job. my student loans, my career, what am I going to do? But it's just, the reasons for not coming here don't stop. And then the people telling him, no, it's crazy. Don't go to Japan. You know, there's going to be a hole in your resume, whatever. So the way I do it and the way I've told people is you just have to do it. It's such a great experience. Don't hold back. Yes, sell everything you have. That's what I mean about burn the ranch. Quit your job. Get down to 2 suitcases, a backpack, and all the cash you can, and come to Japan. And yeah, maybe you fail. Half of us that come out here at least fail. End up running out of money, and you end up going home after 90 days with no visa, no job, and no anything. Even then, it's a tremendous experience.
Right.
But that's been my message to people. Yeah, you fall down, you get back up. What do they say? If you fall down 6 times, you get up 7. And so I tell people, go for it. Go for it. And oh, how am I going to go about it? This and that. And then what's that Japanese proverb? Every journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step.
Okay.
I talk to people. States, half of them don't even have passports. I'm like, dude, at least please put in for your passport. Okay, start researching. And we built this website, and we send our friends there. We have JapanTravelToday.com. We have a video on the best cheap accommodations in Tokyo. We usually send people to the Sakura House. They have gaijin houses, dormitories, hotels, furnished apartments. Then we have a video on how to get jobs in Japan, and we list all the talent agencies for acting and modeling for foreigners. And we list all the main English teaching schools. I mean, you know, and then we have another page on free tour guides in Japan. Now we have the one about the Love Hotel that Natali and I went to the Love Hotel. By the way, those places are sexy. Those places they're so clean. I was expecting something gnarly, but Love Hotels are really clean and upscale.
Well, I guess it depends on which one you go to, though. If you go to like the ones in like what was it, Oguisudani, then yeah, that's not the highest quality. Because I mean,
I did the Shibuya Dogenzaka area.
Okay,
you know?
so if you
but yeah, that's it. Yeah, I tell people burn the ranch, quit your job, let it all go, and come out here. Just do it, and then it's like. In 2 years, you can go back to America, and nothing's going to be any different. You know, you can still go back to whatever you got going on over there.
Right.
And I actually did it. And before I did it by myself 20 years ago, which, you know, anybody can do that. But this time I actually did it with my 2 kids who are 13 and 14. And, you know, I threw them in Japanese public schools. And then, sure, they didn't speak Japanese. But guess what? 2 years later, I got my kids eating onigiri and speaking Japanese and watching animation. It's a beautiful thing. It's really a wonderful thing.
Well, okay. Well, let me rewind a bit here. So you came to Japan in your early 20s, mid-20s, late 20s?
Yeah. Mid-20s.
Mid-20s. What was the initial appeal of Japan as a country? Because I don't. I mean, not to reveal your age or anything. I imagine Japan was probably a different place back then.
You know, I'm not going to lie to you, Radley, and everybody. And,
all right.
You know, I hate my wife over here, but you know, it was just supposed to be a great party place. You know, people were like, Japan, man. The Japanese women are great.
Well, you came here because it was a party place?
I think it was the energy. It was the party
okay.
energy. I think that was it. And also because I was an actor, I was starting to be an actor in America, and people were like, oh, it's too competitive in America, you'll never make it. And I had an actor buddy in Tokyo who said, dude, there's work out here. Go for it. And he said it's a heck of a party. He's like, dude, you will have fun. And, you know, now I'm not the party one I used to be. But back then, you know, Japan was like a drunkard's dream. I mean, Japan was a place where if you party and drink, it was all acceptable. I mean, they're like, yeah, in Japan, if you drink hard, it's like, oh, he's unwinding because he worked so hard. I mean, it was just, we went nuts. We went nuts. We really did. I'm not proud of everything I did when I was here 20 years ago. I was a foreign.
Sounds like there's a story there. Would you say that Japan it's relatively different than it was back then? In your 20s, how different would you say it is?
It's different. It's very different. It's very different. There's less money now. There used to be a lot more money on the streets back then, and companies I think were paying for people to go out and drink. Now I hear Japanese people talking about how they have to chip in or they have to pay partly when the companies has their bonin kai or
yeah, that's a thing.
back then there was more money. People were spending and drinking more. And drinking and being a drunk and making those platform pizzas on the Yamanote train stations, as we call them, that was much more common. I've seen a whole pullback on the drinking and the partying here.
Huh.
Again, I'm not going out like I used to, so maybe I'm not seeing it. But no, it's definitely less. I mean, the drunkenness and everything was much more back then.
Was it?
No, the new generation here, the younger people here in their 20s now, they're not having the party that the ones before them had. Things aren't the same. Yeah, no, the money's not out there anymore, and the acceptance of that kind of behavior has dialed back.
Right. Okay, well, all right. Well, so I want to talk about your website a bit. You know, when I messaged you about doing this interview, you were saying that you really wanted to plug this website. I hate to ask this question. I guess I shouldn't hate it, but why does this exist? Is it purely for altruism, like helping out other people? I mean, because as James was saying in his podcast, like you're not really selling anything.
No, we're not selling anything. We're selling Japan. I have made a living as an actor entertainer now for 30 years now it's going on. And that's just what we do. Just like you, Radley. I mean, you put things out there, you entertain people. And the website, we used to have a show in New York called Streets of New York, which was very popular. It started on public access, and then the internet, it blew up. It was everything about New York, whether you're going to the sex museum, whether you're in the parades, whether you're out drinking, whether you're partying, the social issues. And it was just a lot of fun. We reached millions of people. And then so we left all that behind, and now we came to Tokyo, and we started Japan Travel Today. It's mostly really, Japan Travel Today is really for people coming to Japan. And for people who live here, you already know it all. You've already got a place to stay. You know about your job and where to eat. But people coming to Japan, it's like you're coming to Mars. The last video we did was we called it Eating Out Japan, but we had to write Eating Japan.
Right.
Right. Because Eating Out Japan has
it has a connotation that yeah.
So but people don't know about takoyaki. People don't understand when you come here and you hit in the streets. Your Yoshinoya, Skiya, Matsuya. So we did a food video. So what's the purpose of the website? I think it's just what we do. I mean, we make a living on television and narration jobs and modeling. My whole family works.
It's just kind of like a resume. I mean, that's what James is saying.
Yeah, that's how we pay our bills. But Japan, and also, from America, from other TV show stuff I did, we get a lot of residuals. But Japan Travel Today is us. That is, we write it, we edit it, we put it together. So that's really what we love doing, and that's why we push it. There's the YouTube channel, there's the blogs, But yeah, that's we enjoy it. And no, it doesn't make any money for us. But I love when people come up and it's like, dude, I saw your thing, and it's like, oh, I got the hotel room. Oh, I got the apartment. And I want to hear from people. I want people to go to the Love Hotel though. And we're gonna go big with that. You come to Japan, you really gotta do a little time in the Love Hotel.
They are nice. I mean, because they have like room temperature, and then they have the video selection.
The tub.
Yeah, the big tub.
Yeah, the big.
The videos.
Oh. What is it? Porn?
Yeah, no, they have porn in the videos. I mean, that's. I guess they also have the news. I mean, if that turns you on, I don't know. There's a couple of other things.
I think in America, you think about these no-tell motel. You think about some hot sheets joint, and there's going to be a mirror over your head. It's just going to be sloppy. You're gonna feel kind of gross. This place was so clean, so pretty. And the way the hallway was dim, and how the way you get out of the elevator and you hear a ding ding, and you follow the sound and the light to your room, and choosing your room. Hey, next time let's get that jungle room.
Wait, I guess I gotta ask, what was the name of the Love Hotel you went to?
Natali, come on over.
Oh,
come on over,
no.
I guess we can't get enough of Mr. Swate's wife.
I think you're going to look up what the name was, because we did take a photograph.
Oh yeah.
Photograph of the name.
We'll plug it.
I hope this isn't too hot for Twitch.
Uh-oh.
Behave yourself.
Okay, well, this is the inside of the Love. That's the inside of the Love Hotel.
Wow. Okay.
Where is? Oh yeah, we took pictures too. Oh, here it is. Oh, this is fun. Oh,
Again,
I can't show that one.
behave.
Okay, I got all these new pictures of you. What am I going to do? I mean, we were at a Love Hotel.
There you
Here
go.
we go. White City.
It's called White City? Oh, okay. It's
Yeah, not much. Hey, right? White City.
That's quite the name.
And hang on, this is the cool part here. We got the little. Here's your little rate card. You got your little rate card out front. You got your.
Oh, right. And you have to like how much time you want and like if you want to do Wi-Fi or karaoke or anything like that, right?
Dude, I don't know about, you're a pro here, Radley. What, you can do karaoke and stuff over there?
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
I didn't know we could do karaoke.
Well, that's one of the benefits of learning the local lingo. Because I know you were saying that you're... What's up?
See, this is just the inside of the room, which she still has her clothes on. But you can see it's kind of pretty a little bit.
I didn't think you'd go in this direction. Okay.
Any shot. Uh-oh.
Stop it. Behave.
All right.
I want to hear what you do in the Love Hotels, buddy, because you know, I got a feeling you're a wild man out there, buddy.
No, not anymore.
You just knock that place out, huh? Make a lot of gaijin noise and everything. What was that about? Talk to me.
It sounds like you really missed that life. Do you miss that life?
I'm not missing it. I'm married to Natali.
Okay. I don't know. Obviously, I mean, I'm done with that life because you know, I was tired of being single, and you know, I'm happily in a long-term relationship, so I don't need to really worry about something like that anymore. But
worry about.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that was the swinger lifestyle. You know, it's like we live one day, and then you kind of get used to this, like, you know, this lifestyle of, how would you say, lifestyle of,
yeah,
you know,
you guys are what? You guys are down to what, 2-3 times a day now and stuff, just hanging out, getting that thing going on at home. Sure.
Why not? No, what I was trying to say is that, you know, I would meet a lot of people who weren't always interested in, you know, longer term relationships.
Randy, what kind of underwear does your girlfriend like to see you in? Just like
wow. All right. Okay. You would like. You're not in the influence of some alcohol, are you?
I wear these boxer briefs, and it turns out Natali told me the other day that she really likes those bikini underwear things.
Okay.
You know, it's just my style, the bikini underwear. But if that's what she likes, I'm definitely going to go out and buy some. How about you? You're a bikini underwear kind of guy, or thong, or what do you?
Sure. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I guess.
Have you asked your girlfriend lately what she wants you in, or you just guess?
There's a lot of stuff on Amazon you can buy. You could go through that list, and you can find out what it is you need, and.
Ask your girlfriend what she likes when you see her next time.
All right. I can do that.
I was kind of surprised that my Australian woman is into that kind of you know, men in those little underwear. But I'm going to go out and get some different colors, and you know, maybe a little flag or something. You know.
Huh. All right. So I don't know how to pivot from this one, but okay.
Oh, right. We're talking about Love Hotels. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Love.
I can tell it's pretty lonely over there during the coronavirus times, or.
No, dude. What are you kidding? Oh, dude, we haven't stopped, man. We're just it's just a crazy. It's a fuckfest around here, buddy. I'm telling you. Dude.
All right.
We live in Harajuku. I love the parks in Japan. Japan is the most beautiful parks and shrines. So, you know, we Yogi Park. You know, the restaurants are still open except for my McDonald's. So, you know, we're out there and we're enjoying and everything. I mean, obviously this whole thing stinks, but you know, you can't fight the waves, buddy. So learn to surf.
Right. Wait. Are you a surfer?
No, but I love that expression.
Oh, okay.
Some of these expressions about trying to get through life. Like before I mentioned about the journey of 1,000 miles. But, you know, you can't stop the waves, so learn to surf.
Because when I first saw your video, I was really getting another famous creator who's been on the show is a guy named Eric Surf 6. Do you know who that is?
Eric Surf 6 sounds great. Sounds
No,
good.
never heard of him?
Oh, I might know him. I might know him if he's the guy who likes to play tennis too. But go ahead.
Yeah, no. When I first watched your video, I'm like, man, I'm getting really Eric Surf 6 vibes from this guy. Now, he's a guy who does YouTube videos pretty successfully as well, where he just goes to a restaurant and he eats, and people really like enjoying watching him eat. And he's got like thousands of views just of like him going to random places, eating Japanese food, eating Chinese food. I mean, we did a video with him once, but
He probably eats for free too. Wow, with all that action going on. Wow, probably get a little.
perhaps, I guess,
free.
get all the money from Patreon or something. All right, so something I wanted to ask. I don't know how to pivot at this point because this has been a interesting night with Mr. Danny Reton. I didn't think it would go in this direction, but that's okay. Every day's an adventure. So you said in James's interview that...
You got to put your pants on, honey. I'm over here doing an interview, walking around in your panties. Seriously. Keep closing. Those are pretty.
Wait, are you saying this just for like dramatic effect, or are you
No.
being serious?
I'm serious. Sometimes she behaves like I'm gay or something, and I tell her I'm not gay. You can't walk around in front of me like that. I'm a man. I notice. Please.
Yeah.
Either way, I got this Australian woman who whatever. I tell you, I recommend Australians very highly. It's kind of interesting. I love Japan. I dating Japanese women, this and that back then, and then at the end of the day, I married myself an Aussie.
Okay. Wait. So wait a minute. You met your wife in New York, right? London. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I had to go do some interviews, some shows. Yeah, met her in London, and then she came to New York.
Oh, so wait. Give me kind of paint me a picture of how many years have you been doing this acting stuff for?
30. I've been an actor for 30 years.
30.
I've been making as an actor for 30 years. Yeah. Japan twice, America. I was in Munich. I was in Munich for a little bit, and then London was just a 2-3 month business trip.
Oh, really? Okay. So I remember.
New York
What's
is
up?
great.
New York
City is great. Yeah, New York is a great town.
But you were saying somewhere that you were afraid of it getting too competitive, and it kind of freaked you out a bit.
I was. Back when I first came to Japan, everybody was like, oh, it's too hard to be an actor in America. No, you can't make it, blah, blah, blah. And so I actually part of the reason I came to Japan was because I was scared of trying to be an actor in New York. And then after I went back to New York and I became a full-time actor there, I was like, I was scared of this? Please. It was nothing. It was nothing to be scared of.
Right.
But I'm glad I had that fear, or else I wouldn't have come to Japan.
Would you say some of your best acting experiences have been here in Japan?
Japan has definitely had some comical things because Japan has their own way of doing it. Like I've done gangster. I never played the good-looking guy role. I usually played the bad guy, the business guy. In Japan, I played an American gangster in a movie coming to Japan to do business with the Yakuza. And in America, yeah, you have your shootouts, your drug deals, whatever. But when the special effects went up, there was so much blood, and the bullets and the capsules were so explosive. I was like, what? In the middle of the scene, I was like flabbergasted. I mean, there was just blood everywhere. And then we had a shootout, and the glasses bursting, and I cut my leg. And I was the Japanese don't worry about safety as much as in America. Over here, they really,
boy.
Yeah. When it comes to the things like that, I find they go much more out here. And then, then you get patched up. In America, we really, everything is lined up on the stunt. Everything that's going to happen is rehearsed.
Huh. Well, I guess I know there's unions over there and everything, right?
Exactly. We have unions. Also in America, you have lawsuits. You don't have the lawsuits over here. You've got unions in America. It's just a whole different level of how the work is. But the comedy shows here are terrific. Like when I was here last time, I used to do that Candid Camera show. I mean, it was funny here. The Japanese are great to work with. I did the one where I was the sushi chef.
Right,
the
right.
Japanese people are coming to the sushi, the American sushi, and I drop the sushi, so I blow on it and I wipe it off and I put it back on and I serve it to the people. I mean, it was like a joke. It was a complete sushi disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny though. It was funny. Stopping people on the street and trying to get them to speak English and everything. That was comical too. They were showing about Japanese ability to speak English, but that was a good one. The Japanese Candid Camera show was definitely one of my favorites.
All right.
The worst job I ever did. Oh, Lordy, the worst job I ever did.
All right. What's the worst job you've ever did?
The worst job I ever did was when I was in Japan last time. My buddy said to me, hey, we can strip at this Japanese where women go, one of those host clubs where Japanese women go. He goes, hey, it's in Kabukicho, Shinjuku. Hey, we dance around a little bit for 2 songs and we make, 25,000 yen. Hey, come on and do that with me. So that turned into a complete disaster. I mean, I'm so used to Japanese women being so nicely behaved and stuff. and I'm out there in my little underwear thing, and I'm doing my cheesy dance. And when they tuck a bill, you'd give them a little peek.
Yeah.
So we did our strip show. And I tuck and I give them the little peek, and these Japanese women wham with the chopsticks and just got the head of my penis. And I'm trying to pull it out.
All right.
I should have just relaxed.
All right.
I panicked. I pulled my penis out. Oh, I think I still have the splinters.
Oh boy. Yeah. That sounds like a bad job. Is this one of the? This isn't one of the.
It got worse. That was the start of it. It got worse and worse.
How did it get worse? This sounds pretty bad already.
Just before we went out, the guy said, "Here, put some of this on your penis. It'll warm it up and fill it out, so you can fill out your little teabag underwear when you go out there dancing for the Japanese ladies." So I dabbed some of this stuff on my penis. I don't know. And then we're out on the side of the dance floor, and our penises start burning. They start burning. And we're like, "What was that?" And he goes, "Oh, that was this thing he puts on his chest and under his nose when he has a cold." He said, "I thought it would warm up your penis and fill it out for you." It was like Tiger Balm or something. So
all right.
We run out of the club in Kabukicho. We're standing on the street in Shinjuku. We grabbed hot towels with our pants open and our penises wrapped in hot towels in Kabukicho. And of course, Japanese people are going by. It's Kabukicho, so you expect all kinds of things. But so there's a couple of foreigners with their penises wrapped in hot towels in Kabukicho.
Wait,
and
this
then
is
it got worse. And then it got worse.
How does it get worse from here?
We finally got our penises off the burning, and we got our little thongs back on, and we're doing our little dance number out there, And there was a group of drunken Japanese women, business women. I mean, these were women in their 40s. And they waved me into their little horseshoe, and just when I'm there doing my cheesy little dance, they're waving their little 1,000-yen note, and one went behind me and just pulled my little underwear down to the floor, and I'm standing there buck naked, my money's all over the place. My penis looks like a scared turtle. And I was like, this is it. This is too much. I can't do this. I can't.
That's when you decided it was too much, huh? All right.
That was the second worst job I ever did in Japan.
Oh, okay.
I did make 20,000 yen, though, in 2 songs, but that was the second worst job I ever did in Japan.
Wow. Because I remember you were talking something about doing a modeling job, and then you were talking about how you get offers of like doing hentai and skebe work and things like that, and you had to be careful of those people.
Yeah, that was kind of a warning I was putting out there for a lot of people that come out here to do acting work, for men and for women. I do try to tell them that as you're hitting the streets and you're getting around, you will be asked to do nude work. You will be asked to do some sort of sexual work. And I want just people to be aware of that. People should definitely be aware of that will happen, and you have to draw the line tight, because they will try to get you to do, to get you to do that kind of work. Now, if you do that kind of work, that's wonderful. Do it and put it out there, because there's many people who do enjoy seeing porno and stuff online. There's a market. And
this is just adult video, is what you're saying?
It's everything. It's everything that has to do with the skebe nudity, whether it's magazines, whether it's adult videos, that whole business. They will try to bring you into it. And I'm saying if you're up for that, power to you. That's fine. People enjoy it and there's a market. But if you're not looking for that, and that work will prevent you from doing a Disney World commercial or a McDonald commercial. So I would be careful.
Well, you didn't do a McDonald's commercial.
Yeah. I will now.
Do you think
that happened to me very early in the business? People are trying to get you, and they usually start with like, would you be willing to do lingerie, underwear? Will you be willing to do nudity? Very artistic nudity. That's the key word. They will start with that. Would you be willing to do artistic nudity? So, I mean, I came to town from New York. I knew right away when that came up. I was like, no. But I warn people of that that's definitely an industry, and you got to draw the line tight. Oh, you know.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. In New York, they have a thing called artistic nudity. I've never even heard of this.
Artistic nudity is what the talent agencies or the skebe people will always say.
Huh.
You will always hear the word. As soon as they ask you first, are you willing to do underwear? Are you willing? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I do swimsuits. I do everything modeling. And then they're like, are you willing to do artistic nudity? And you're like, oh, artistic nudity? Yeah, sure. I have no problem with nudity. I mean, if it's whatever. Of course, or maybe they'll say, for medical commercial or whatever. But there's no fine line. There's no line. As soon as you say yes to nudity, there's no artistic, buddy. It's porn. So when you hear artistic nudity, run like hell.
Huh. Well, good to know. All right. If anybody gets anything from this interview, remember that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, so let me ask you something. So you've been doing a lot of commercials and videos and stuff like this, and you often talk about how when you first got to Japan, you went door to door, I guess, teaching business English. What is it you did? Because you didn't go into too much detail about what it is you taught or what it is you did to sell
for talent acting, modeling work in Japan. My website, Japan Travel Today, on the jobs page, I list like the top 30 talent agencies. Narration's great business. There's promotion, modeling at events. There's, of course, the TV, movies, commercials, modeling. I mentioned that modeling in Japan, you're better off being an ugly, out-of-shape person than you are being a babe, okay? Because they love character models here. So what I say about going to door is that you have to treat the business like you're an insurance salesman.
Okay.
The best training to succeed as an actor model in Japan is to pretend you're a car salesman, you're a stockbroker, and make a list of all the agencies and all the big TV channels and all the big magazines, and make an index card for each one, and start going door to door and sending emails and making phone calls. And you got to treat it like an insurance, like you're selling insurance. You got to contact 100 people to get 5 appointments to get a job, and you keep at it. And you keep a list of let's say of the 30 agencies, maybe you get down to 20 that you're pursuing. Oh, I sent them an email then. They registered me. Now I'm going to go visit them. Every couple of weeks, you stop in. In Japan, you're allowed to give gifts. It's a great culture because you can actually stop in on people in Japan, dropping off a business card or a little gift because you just came back from Hokkaido. So that's what I would do to get started here. I used to, whenever I traveled anywhere, I'd be in Yokohama, but you know how you can buy the pre-packaged gifts, and then you go to other places with your little 700 yen little box of whatever, rice or sake or candy from that neighborhood. And that's what you do. So that's what I'm telling people. And when they're coming from America, I'm like, of course, do all your legwork. Have a narration tape, have some pictures. If you're looking to teach English, have your resume. Have your lesson plan, have something, build a website showing you're doing your thing, and go door to door in Japan. In Japan, you can go door to door. And then when nobody calls you back, 2 weeks later, you make the rounds again. And even once you get established, you still keep pursuing it. To succeed as an actor, talent in America or Japan, you got to treat it like a sales business. You got to pretend that you're just an insurance salesman, but you're the product. So that's what I mean about going door to door, and that's the advice I give people. And when you finally break in and get one job, that one job is like 5 auditions, okay? You got the director, the producer, the cameraman, hair and makeup, the writers, every one of those people you need to impress. So when they have another job, you're going to be back there. And that's how I made it in Japan, treating it like a sales business. And every job is an audition for 5 more. Every job you do, they should be calling you to come back.
Right.
But in Japan, don't be complaining, worrying about the money, about how many hours you're going to work. Your first 2 years here, none of that matters. Don't worry about that. After, the money will take care of itself. Everything will. At first, you just have to break in and get them to want you. And the other quick thing, Randy, is that I tell people, and I didn't make this up. I read it in a book somewhere about Japan. I think it was actually the baseball book about foreigners playing baseball in Japan. Great book. But he says you got to learn 3 words in Japanese. You got to learn wakarimasu. You got to learn shoganai, and you got to learn gambari. And if you're going to succeed in this country, you got to.
Is anyone taking notes? Hope they're taking notes.
When the Japanese are telling you something, whatever, even though to you it doesn't make sense to you, you don't agree, you don't like it, you say Hi, wakarimasu. Okay? And then shogunai is that some things here don't make sense to us Americans. Why do you people do this? Why? It doesn't make sense. But shogunai.
All
And
right.
the last one is, of course, gambare, which is, I will do my best or something like that. But those three words have to be totally in your lexium if you're going to succeed in this country, is what I tell first-time foreigners.
All right. Well, was a person from the chat's asking, Dirty Bong Water, that's his name. He's asking, what was...
You filter that? You got to filter that. Smoke it.
Yeah, I guess so. He's asking, what was your first worst job? Do you have any recollection of what that might be?
No, that's because I said the stripper job was my second worst job in Japan. So he's asking what was the worst.
Yeah, I guess that's a good question. Yeah. Great question, Dirty Bong Water.
I did an old samurai movie. And
Okay.
The Franciscan monks or whatever that were out here spreading Christianity were not liked by one of the shoguns of the samurais. So we did the movie where they crucified dozens of the Christian Franciscan monks or something that came to Japan as priests.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were out there in some field late at night shooting this old samurai movie, and they made these big crosses for a crucifixion, and they put a ladder up on them, and so we had to climb up. We had a piece of board about, 12 centimeters or 15 centimeters to stand on, and then we put our hands behind the ropes like we were being crucified, and they pulled the ladders away, and then, we're up, 3 meters in the air, and they're burning brush fires to make it a smoky scene, and the Japanese samurais are walking around hating us and everything, and we're up there hanging from this thing. Shoot, hurry up, get this damn shot. And yeah, that was the worst job I ever did. It was nighttime, there was smoke, and you're hanging up there 3 meters up in the air, standing on a little piece of wood, putting your hands behind the ropes. And that was the worst job I ever did. That was dangerous. It was horrible with the smoke, and on top of that, you're playing a guy getting crucified. That was my worst night.
Yeah, that sounds really bad. Yeah.
That was worse than the splinters on my penis that I still feel to this day. Yeah.
What? Oh wow, I'm so sorry to hear that.
You grab with chopsticks. Just stay cool. Just be cool. Don't pull. Just relax.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll write this down. I'll remember the story. Well, it's being etched on the internet as we speak, so I'll have to re-listen to this and edit it and put it up on iTunes and all those platforms later. So, yeah, great story. So you said that just earlier in this interview, you said that sometimes you get jobs that request artistic nudity. This is even like through the big, what is it? Talent agencies?
The main ones? No, I haven't had the main ones try to get me to do porno or anything. No, I haven't. But when you get out there and you're hitting the streets a lot, you come across a lot of different agencies. And sometimes you do get some great jobs from these little obscure agencies, especially narration. Everybody has a couple of clients. So no, the big agencies like Echoes or Free Wave or IMO or those big agencies, no. They've never asked me to do anything that was skebe or hentai. No. But no, those big ones have not.
Okay, then. I think this about wraps up the Why Come Japan hour. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
Okay. Oh, hang on. Look at this tush. Look at that tush. Oh, okay.
Still too hot for Twitch. I hope that gets me a follow or something. Oh, boy.
Okay,
For like $5 tip, anything. That's what you do here on Twitch. You need to get out in the tips. There's actually money involved in this thing, but anyway.
So, I mean, if people have friends coming to Japan, we send them to the website, the Japan Travel Today. A video that's been really popular with friends coming over is the free volunteer tour guides. When your friends come to Japan and you're busy, you hook them up with these free volunteer tour guides. All they want to do is practice their English. So they actually charge. There's no tipping. They paid, and there's like 4 major different companies that do it, including a big English language school. So that's a good one for your friends. I'll leave you with that one. But that's a good place to send you. And you want to do talent work in Japan? Go to the jobs page of JapanTravelToday.com, and we list all the talent agencies.
All right.
There's a lot. You got to hit it like you're a salesperson.
Right. Okay. Noted. So that about wraps it up for this episode. Next week, or not next week, tomorrow on Twitch, on this channel, I'm going to interview Apocalypse 34, metal lover, Japanophile. Be here around 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time. So until then, I'm Radri, and
Daniel Reton. Good to see y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. And, hey, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, man.